Just a little ditty here to try to update and explain to you what's going on with Ricky. Why did Ricky get a low-grade apartment? Why is he not going to fancy hotels anymore? So you ask, why did he actually have this campaign to get donations for Mr. Barry Lee Jordan? Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, it takes me to wake you up, and I guess that's what it is. Ricky knows that there's going to be a definite payoff to Michael Fazio, and in preparation for that, he had to get an apartment, a really cheap apartment, and Mr. Big Spender, who tries to find other excuses for getting an apartment like that. In fact, in reality, it's preparation for the big payoff. On top of that, the donations he was collecting for Barry. Yeah, I know you're all pissed off about that. I can understand that and what he did with the money. It was one of the greatest scams, among others, here on YouTube in the community. The whole time he was saying F you to everybody out there. It was his way of saying screw you all. And he did by taking that money, and this also is in connection to the fact that he knows there's going to have to be a payoff to Michael Fazio. All this just came together. Now, one of the reasons I'm sure that he hasn't been doing any shows is because he's not going to get any donations for Barry anymore, and there's really no purpose to come on. And because he knows a lot of people are pretty pissed off at him. They don't want to donate to him personally. Even has nothing to do with Barry, because now they know that he took advantage of everybody on here. Oh, everybody was so proud. We've got a great cause. Let's help Barry get out of jail. Why, I don't know, but it was a trendy thing to do. Let's support Ricky. Let's send him money, and we're sure where the money is going. Oh, we're absolutely sure, because Ricky wouldn't lie to you, right? No, he wouldn't do that. The whole time, all the money that Ricky made, and he doesn't tell you everything. Don't forget, Big E and other people have been contributing to Ricky for Barry. Okay, you don't know the figure on that either, do you? I know Big E probably is red-faced right now after probably finally realizing that this whole thing was a scam, and it wasn't to help Barry at all. It was to help Ricky in preparation for the lawsuit. And we don't know what the figure is going to be, but still, it'll be considerable pocket money to Fazio. It'll be considerable. Now, Ricky makes all these claims of how much he makes every month. Believe it or you're not, I don't believe it, personally. I think the best money he could get per month, which is still good from the military pension, would be about $3,600, which is actually a pretty good figure for anyone, really. As far as him making like $8,000 or something a month, whatever he claims, I don't buy that. I'll never buy that. Am I the only intelligent person in here that can figure out that this guy's full of shit? You guys have to make your own conclusions about people on here. You could label anybody whatever you want to label people, but in the end, there's always truth at the end. And, the truth about this guy is that it was his whole intention to make money in his pocket to cover Fazio's future expenses in court. And that date is coming up. Okay, he doesn't want it to come out of his pocket because he knows it'll actually hurt him. He can't live the extravaganza lifestyle of going to some 4-star or whatever hotels and entertaining the ladies of the night. I think that's coming to an end with him. You got to realize there's a lot of things going on with this guy too. He does have health problems. Not everything he tells you. I mean, the very fact that if he drinks too much, his blood pressure just shoots up. He can get a heart attack. He has to do things in moderation now. Now his spending has to be in moderation now, in preparation for Michael Fazio's lawsuit. Now, look, Michael Fazio's done a lot of harm to me. And, there's nothing wrong with my memory. I'm not going to forget that. He knows how I feel. However, I hope Michael Fazio, for several reasons, I hope he just cleans Ricky out. I really hope he does. And we all know he's never going to build a hotel. It's not feasible. We got a lot of factors there. Michael's age, and he has his own health problems. He's never going to build a hotel. That's just not going to happen. But you know what? If Michael is really broke, well, obviously he has a source of income. How does he buy food? How does he buy any other tools or anything? He must have a source of income. I'll be very honest with my viewers. I really don't know what his source of income is. Maybe his brother sends him money every month. I don't know. Maybe he's getting some kind of a disability. I mean, he's not well mentally, so maybe all this time he's been getting a disability. I think the possibility does exist. If anybody knows how to ambulance chase, he certainly does. the other way around. He knows how to make money. He knows how to put the wool over people's eyes. So I would not be surprised that his source of income is actually, basically they call it crazy pay. When you get a disability based on a mental issue. In America, they call it crazy pay. Well, at least in Hawaii, they did. They call it crazy pay. A lot of things about Michael you really don't know, and nobody's innocent. Michael has a checkered past, but so does Ricky. So does Ricky. I like that one. Oh, really? And it's a good picture. Yeah. So it's kind of like a game of a street game of what nut or marble is under the shell, and I'm going to take with quick hands, sleight of hand. I'm going to scramble these nut shells, and you have to find that marble or coin underneath these shells. Which shell is it going to be under? And you guys have to figure that kind of shit out. Well, I'm not the only one that can see through all the bullshit that's going on here on YouTube, and so many people are so gullible. I knew this campaign Ricky was raising money for was for his own personal gain. I figured that out a long time ago. But no, you donated to him because you just wanted to piss me off. But you're not pissing me off, so what did you gain? I could think of a lot of poor Filipinos. If you care about the Philippines that much, care about the Philippines people that much, really? I mean, is that why you're here or intend to be here? Well, help a family. Help a child that needs some clothing, help put a scholarship together to some deserving child that wants to go to college. But to put that kind of money supposedly toward Barry, who we all know is a criminal, and he's getting what he deserves and even more, we hope. But to give money to people like Ricky was the biggest mistake you made because you didn't learn from the past. We've had scammers on here that were proven, okay? And, going back to Peter Van Dever, let's go about the Nika incident. She turned out to be scamming people and probably continues to do so to this day. But you people are so gullible, so naive. You couldn't tell you were being scammed if the scam came and bit you on the nose. Why is it that I could see through this stuff and you can't? Amazing question. But that pretty much sums it up. From the get-go, Ricky had planned this. You see, because Ricky thinks this way, there's so many people against him. It's his way of saying, fuck you all, okay? That's his way of saying, fuck you all. I'm going to create one of my greatest scams, and he did, very successfully. He made a few grand in his pocket, American grand, not peso grand. He made several grand or more in his pocket, eh? And you did that. So congratulate yourself on that. No, it was all going to Barry. And what went to Barry? It's like throwing out a few pieces of bread. Here's a few pieces of bread. Just to show the people that the money is really going to Barry. The truth is, 90% of that money was going in Mr. Jarrett's pocket. And if you can't figure that out, I don't know what to tell you. You might be a good sap to get maybe you to buy 50,000 hectares of land I'm selling for only 500,000 pesos. Maybe I could get you to buy this fictitious land. Anyway, I hope you guys have woken up to the characters here on YouTube. We got all the characters. You know who they are. They got Brevis, a very strange man, possibly a very dangerous man psychologically, a man who cannot commit to a relationship, has a pregnant woman, but he's out hanging in the go-go bars. He stalks people. The boy with a past I think he has in California. You got to examine, folks. Examine the characters, the players on here, and understand where they're coming from. Again, why am I the only one seemingly that can see through these people? Maybe it's a gift, or maybe it's a curse, I don't know. We got all the players out here, and every single thing they do on YouTube is for a reason. It's for some personal gain. Now, personal gain does not mean financially all the time, okay? It is vengeance, vindictiveness. Okay, just like putting on a show which we call the Copycat. I actually named it the Copycat Show, and everybody else is copying that name, but it's a good name. There's a reason why they put that show on. There's a reason why they copy my videos. There's a reason why I'm being under the attack with these people. It happens to be a person or persons that don't particularly like it. It's very simple if you can't see through that. It's their way of shoving it to me, and uselessly, because it doesn't really faze me. These are people that are miserable in their own skin, and it gets so carried away. There's infatuation going on. There's a lot of elements of their own personal misery that's being projected by what they do. Some people are absolutely obsessed with other vloggers. Now, People say I had an obsession with Barry Jordan. You're right. You'd be absolutely correct. I was obsessed with the fact that I wanted to put the mother foe in jail. That was my obsession. And I achieved my goal. Now, even if he got out after only 3 months in the slammer, I'm still going to be satisfied, but not completely. I think he needs to be in Bickerton. I think he needs to spend more time. Now, as told by my attorney, that was the most current information, and I can only rely on what he said to me at this point, is that Barry is not represented. That Barry doesn't have any money. But wait a minute, why doesn't he have any money? What happened to the money that Ricky's been raising for him? How about the bullshit Roberto who said that he raised approximately $3,000 for Barry? Where's that money? It's all bullshit. Smoke and mirrors. All lies from the very people that make judgment on people like me and others. They're all bullshitters, and you believe them. And you believe them. How gullible you are. Really. How gullible you are. What's your conclusion, folks, at this point? Have these people been true to you? Have they not lied to you about everything? They lied to you about everything. And there are psychologically imbalanced people out there. I mean, look at the Copycat channel. I kind of know who's behind that now. One of the people that's behind it for sure, whether there's more than one, and there might be, is very psychologically deranged. He's obsessed. He's obsessed with me. A real psychological obsession that goes beyond the norm of anything that we would call the norm. These people are dangerous. People like Barry are dangerous. That's why they should be in jail. That's why Barry is in jail. Now, Popeye doesn't want to give me the credit. Oh, Frank had nothing to do with Barry being in jail. Shut the fuck up, Popeye. Shut the fuck up. Go look at your Filipino porn magazines. Go back on Pornhub and find all the Filipino whores that you'd love to be with, but you can't. Because you don't got the money to go to the Philippines. You're afraid to go to the Philippines. You're afraid somebody's going to chop your head off or something. Because you pissed a lot of people off. Pissed a whole lot of people off. After what he did to his Filipina in marriage, this man shouldn't even come on YouTube and have a show. Shouldn't even talk about the Philippines. Or get sick of hearing about the corn and his shit. About his little song about beer. Same shit all the time. The man rides a little fucking kiddie scooter and goes to bingo. That's his life. Living his life vicariously through people like Nico and all the other people who have actually traveled, have actually been going back and forth to the Philippines and even other countries. He sits there with his bottle of scotch and his Camel cigarettes and watches the world go by. And all he can do is talk about the old days. When he was in the service, when he was in the Navy, the good old days of the brothels he went to. Makes me sick. Now that's a sad old man right there. That's a very sad old man. I wouldn't want to be Popeye if you paid me $10, $20 million to be in his place for even a month. Not even a month would I want to be in his shoes. Go smoke your corncob pipe, you piece of shit. Now remember, Popeye does not talk bad about people. He said that he does. On every show he does. He's one of these guys, truly, who sits behind a computer screen and throws out all the mud pies to people because he figures I'm behind my screen. And nobody's going to come to Florida to do anything to me. Besides, I'll have Nico to my rescue. He'll come here. He'll protect me. My adopted son that I never had, Nico. And what Nico sees in Popeye, I really don't fucking know. Popeye doesn't have anybody. He really doesn't. That's why he'll buy Nico the baby carriage and things like that. He needs friends, and if he has to get them off YouTube, and that's the only way he can, I really doubt that as long as he's been living in the neighborhood he's been living in, that he doesn't have any friends around there. Only friends he knows is at the bingo parlor. You know something, man? I'm never going to be that old that I'm going to go to fucking bingo. All right, there's a little electric scooter thing, you know, which is made for kids or something. If you call that retirement, if you call that, you know, living your age the proper way, you know, I don't always, I accept the fact of what my age is, but no matter what, I don't act my age. I could still rock and roll, you know, no matter what my age is, you know. I could still rock and roll in life. I don't have to look like I'm in my late 60s. I don't have to dress like I'm in my late 60s. I don't have to act like I'm in my late 60s. That's the secret of not aging. Although Father Time can't prevent that. But it doesn't mean you have to accept it on a certain level. You're only as old as you feel. And if you just succumb to your physical age, you're going to be that age visibly, how you carry yourself, how you are projected to people, how people see you, you're going to be that age. But you don't have to be, and I'm not that person. I can't stop Father Time from aging me, but you know what? I could do my best to fight it. I could do my best to not fall into that old age category. The khaki pants with the black shoes and white socks up to your freaking knees. It's probably poop eye. Going to bingo parlors. God, just gag me with a spoon if I have to go to a bingo parlor at my age. That's like saying, I've given up. I gotta succumb to this. I'm an old motherfucker now, and I gotta act old, and I gotta look old, and I gotta sound cranky and have crab mentality. No, that's not gonna be me, and it isn't me. I would never want to be him, or anybody like him. So we got a lot of players on YouTube, but examine what they're all about. Examine their characters, and they are all flawed. All flawed characters who have the nerve to throw mud pies at me and other people on here. Everybody, really. They can't afford to throw mud pies. They're living in a world of their own personal pain and anguish. That's what they're doing. Well, anyway, I hope you guys have learned so far that you were being taken advantage by Ricky. Oh, Big E. The philanthropist. Gag me with a spoon, you piece of shit. Your wallet is your personality. Isn't it amazing? Hey, Big E, can I ask you something directly? You could do a show on this. You could talk about it. Why is it you spend more time with your old girlfriend than you do with your own wife? Now, okay, what you do in your personal life is really your own. But what you're projecting to people on here is pretty sad and it's pretty sick. And it's also a put down to your own wife that you spend more time with Honeyco than you do with your own wife. Pretty sad statement there. And you're trying to come on as this righteous, godly person on here. The know-it-all who could throw mud pies at me and anybody else for that fact. The savior who's going to come in there and save Barry, although you admit that he should pay for all his crimes. But yet you have enabled Barry, haven't you, big enabler? You're a sick man yourself, dude. You know that? You really are. I think you need to self-examine before you point your finger to me, before you point your finger to anybody else on here. If you're a godly man like you seem to state that you are, then why are you cavorting with two women? You're a married man. Why are you cavorting with Honeyco? Why are you doing that? You spend more time with her than you do your own wife. Sorry, pal, you can't afford to speak about me or anybody else on here. Anyway, this was my morning shot in the face to those that matter in my show this morning. I thought I'd let it all out. Maybe you guys are finally waking up to know that Ricky has took advantage of all of you. It all adds up, doesn't it? The cheap apartment, okay? Right? Getting off YouTube for a while because he knows he's under the attack and people have woken up about where the funds are going. And why do a live show unless he's making money? And he sees the fact that he's not going to make much money only if he says it's for Barry, but he sees those funds are running out because people don't trust him anymore. So why come on? Is that what I need to say? Have a good day.